welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who wishes that he were an extra in a 1980s movie. It's Chris Kelly.
Hello, everyone.
So, I was watching this movie Valley Girl that we're talking about, and I've watched, you watch movies from the 80s, particularly filmed in California or New York, and the extras are so much, I feel like the extras were better then than they are now that you're watching it. Because in this movie, in Valley Girl, there's dancing scenes, there's people in the background of the beach and restaurants, and they all nail it. The extras in Valley Girl are A-okay. So, what movie would you want to be an extra in the 1980s?
Oh, that's a very tough question. Maybe Valley Girl, but I don't know. I know that that movie was very fastly made, and it was very extremely cheap. So it was like they were using a lot of their own clothes and a lot of their own. So a lot of them were just there being paid for food and they were like,
pulled off the street,
literally, quite literally. Yeah. So a lot of them were having a lot more fun with it because it's kind of like they were there and they said, hey, how about you just go over here, order a couple of hot dogs? Here's $5. So they're like, hey.
Sweet.
Okay. And so it's like that's why it looked really believable for Valley Girl, because those people were not acting. They were quite literally the guys ordering a slice of pizza.
During the prom scene at the end, they brought in they brought in two rival fraternities. And on film sets, I worked on a film set one time with like 400 extras, and I was finding some going and sleeping in storage containers. They disappear. So they had two frats that were rivals on this scene. And I was listening to a Kevin Smith, Smoothiola interview, an hour-long interview with Martha Coolidge, the DP Frederick Elms, and then Deborah Foreman. And these two frats started fighting. They drove a car into the place. Because there's so much downtime, and when you're rival frats and there's downtime, they were getting into fights. So yeah, they brought in some pretty gnarly extras in Valley Girl. But I gotta say, I want to be in Rocky IV. I want to be one of the scientists, right? That is watching Dolph kick things and punch things and run around, and then I have a notebook just going nodding up and down like impressive. Like he hits the thing and he gets 7,000,
1,800 per pounds per square inch.
Yeah, and I'm like, good job. And I'm like writing on a piece of paper. I have a buzz cut. I look Russian. That's what I mean. If I could transport myself back in time, that's the extra role I would want to be in the 1980s.
Maybe one of the Friday the 13th ones. Because they always had a good time on those.
Yeah, you're right.
Or Blues Brothers. I'd love to be on Blues Brothers. I knew a guy that was a crane operator on Blues Brothers. And he was like, we were shit-faced the entire show. He was like, man, that was one big party.
You would just be in the club, right? You would be one of the guys in the club?
Listening to the Plimsolls.
Yeah. Hey,
what happened to them? They just kind of went down. What was it? The one guy... He wound up managing Metallica, or was that the Payolas? They made a joke about that in
I don't remember.
The documentary Making of a Monster. He was like, James Hetfield said, play us one of those Payola riffs. And he's like, wait, what did he, did anybody else catch that? Did he just mention a band that was not very well known at all?
Nice. So you're thinking Blues Brothers?
Blues Brothers, maybe one of the Friday the 13th, because they were always in the woods. Probably not Takes Manhattan, because I don't think I would really want to be.
So you'd be one of the extra counselors that doesn't have any lines?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Just kind of show up and kind of nod and look at a clipboard.
Yeah, look at a clipboard and be like, oh, they're right over there's the archery. You do a lot of pointing.
You do a cross in the background when main people are talking. You just do a cross. And for some reason, extras don't move their arms when they walk. So you just have dead arms walking in the background.
You move your arms when you walk?
Yeah. If you want to see...
Was that a Seinfeld episode where it's like...
Oh, yeah. Do you not move your arms? If you want to see a very random extra moment in the movie Spy... Very funny comedy, directed by Paul Feig, starring Melissa McCarthy. But there's a scene where Rose Byrne and another actress are walking down the street. They're probably going about 100 yards. And right behind him, there's this extra. And for some reason, he just has his hand in his pocket. So this entire scene, you're watching it. And you're like, why does that guy have his hand in his pocket? And he's doing fine. He's like a Bulgarian extra. But I was listening to the commentary for it, and Paul Feig's like, why did I not catch this? All I can look at is this guy with his hand in his pocket. Actually, I'd want to be that extra, the guy with his hand in his pocket.
See, that way you can recognize him, and then people will bring it up later on in commentaries and whatnot. Yeah. And then, whenever he shows that movie to people, he's like, you see that guy with the hand in his pocket?
Paul Feig's like, that idiot. I hate
he didn't even see it coming. He was so stupid.
Yeah. But in this movie, I don't know, just watching all of them do their 80s dances, we're hyper aware of extras because we've worked on the sets. And so, but watching a lot of the extras dance, they did a good job in this.
I think a lot of it had to do with them working for free as well. I mean, she says that in the commentary. I mean, this was a very micro budget film. It was 3
300,000, and then they took 25,000 away.
Yeah. So there you go. They had like no money. So a lot of them were for free. And as we both know from having free extras, you really can't, you can suggest things, but you can't sit there and say, you have to only do this.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can say, oh, okay, well, don't look too ridiculous. But at the same time, it's like, well, we really can't do that. And it's like they show up wearing their clothes. Thank God most of them had neon because that's what they wanted to go for.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to show the contrast between the Valley and the Hollywood guys. So a lot of them had like those pastels and neons and everything. They looked really ridiculous, especially to us nowadays. But that was the look back.
That was the look. Pop collars.
Yeah, double popped collar. Remember when that came back when we were in college? I know because I did that, and then I got made fun of so bad for it.
I never popped the collar. I wanted to do the triple pop collar one time. I don't know how to do that, but I wanted to triple pop. But yeah, and also what I like is the extras in this movie. I listened to the commentary. Martha Coolidge talks a lot about this movie, and I love it. And I'm actually, I'm teaching production design right now, a class, and I'm going to show them this movie because they only had a $3,000 art budget. So I'm going to walk them through the different scenes and kind of talk to them about how you can maximize your art department budget.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best ways to do it is just find artistic people that are okay with you filming at their place. Especially, I think she talks about it in the commentary, the house that was used for Deborah Foreman's house. The people who lived there were actually very eclectic, so thank God.
Wasn't there a drug dealer? Oh, there was a drug dealer in the house, right? That got arrested. So they were doing scenes, her and Nicolas Cage. No, she was at her house.
I know there was a scene where it was like what was the scene right before they leave for the prom that they said like almost as soon as they said cut, they had to walk out because they were having a party. So they're like bringing their gear out. So then it's like apparently there's like people you can see moving in the background, and that's the actual party members that are coming in for this party. Funny. But it kind of matched it because it's supposed to be they're going to the prom. So it's like, oh, they're dressed up anyway. So, hey.
That's fun. and also, they were doing a scene and didn't have any permits for this movie. Martha Coolidge,
it was like
all these cops came into the house. I heard this on the Smoothieola thing with Kevin Smith. And these cops ran in and like, we're going to get shut down. Our production's done. It's all over. But they went and kicked down a door and arrested a guy who was arrested for drug dealing. And then they just let them keep shooting. That's what they shot this movie.
I guess at that point, like, who's your target right there? People without the permit, or the guy who's selling the drugs?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, well, yeah, we'll just get the drug dealer. Maybe we'll send someone.
We'll come back for you later. And they also Martha Coolidge did something really smart too, where she played. So the bands lip synced, but they played music over it, so the bands could play with the music, like on music videos, and then people had some rhythm to dance to. Yeah. So sometimes you see these movies where it's completely quiet, and you're like, extras dance, and extras are like, I don't know what to move my body to.
They play that first 5 seconds of like a bass beat, and it's like, I don't know, I'm just hearing It's like, I don't know what that is. So, but they actually played the songs, and then they got to actually play, and what the Plimsolls, who was actually like a band at the time, was getting fairly well known with other bands, she says in the commentary, and they were doing really successful, and she was like, great, we can use this band, so they played for free.
Did you know that there has been a remake made and shot of this film? It's
it's a musical.
Yeah,
and
musical.
It hasn't they shot it, what was it, like a year or
two ago? And it stars Jessica Roth from Happy Death Day. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And she's in La La Land. She's one of the one of the roommates. Yeah. She's awesome in that. And then they also had that Josh Whitehouse who can sing. They have a character, she's from Riverdale. Like they have Mae Whitman in there, like Chloe Bennett from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But you know what it is? They cast Logan Paul. Logan Paul has a role in it. He's that YouTube kid that went to the Death Forest. He like tased a dead squirrel.
Oh yeah,
he's always saying
that was not like I don't understand that video. I was like, why would you record someone?
So someone hung, right? Didn't they show footage of a guy who started
making fun of the guy? And I was like, why would you do that?
And so a lot of controversy around him, so they didn't release it. So they have this finished film just waiting to be released. They're going to release the Anne Hathaway Rebel Wilson remake of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels or Used Cars, one of those remakes. But it's with them. They're going to put that in that spot. So they're just waiting to release this.
Do you think Dirty Rotten Scoundrels would work nowadays?
I mean, you'd have to.
As funny? I don't know.
I mean, everything gets remade. So remakes typically don't work. So 1 in 3 actually work.
I mean, if they made it take place in the 80s, but of course, like, if they made it an updated version, it's kind of like my argument with When a Stranger Calls. It's like, well, all you got to do is look at the phone.
Like, I don't have any cell service.
Yeah, right? Like, that movie is very fast. They could have just cut that in the first 5 minutes. I don't understand how there was any suspense. But
so, I mean, we'll see. And it's just interesting that this movie's sitting on the shelf, just hanging out because of
that does happen.
Ethics.
Like Case 39, which when I used to do blogs, this was many years ago that was one of the first ones I did. It's like, I wonder what case 1 through 38 was. The title. And that movie sat on the shelf for, I think it was like 4 years. And they're waiting for Renee Zellweger or Bradley Cooper's career to pick up because they were unknowns at the time. Well, I mean, not.
No, you're talking about Texas Chainsaw. Oh, no, that's
No.
the other one. So Renee Zellweger's been in 2 delayed horror films.
She was, but then she did Bridget Jones, and then that's kind of what brought her back. And
Case 39.
Case 39 happened.
Shit.
they were sitting there going, oh, okay, well, everyone liked Hangover, so here's Case 39 with Bradley Cooper. And that was, I mean, whatever. I thought they had one really good line in it, which the little girl, when she talks in her demon voice, she's like, and she said, I forget what she says. She's like,
Case 36 was the best. But Case 35 is second. This Case 39 I don't like.
I haven't gotten over Case 33.
That was a long night. I haven't been saying. A big cigarette in the hand. That Case 33. You don't know those movies? Hey, let's pull a Bulgaria. But Bulgaria didn't work. Well, we'll try it again. Hey, let's pull a Case 17. That didn't work. Well, at least it wasn't Case 12. You're right.
Yeah, but do you remember Case 19?
No, because I was on peyote the whole time.
72 days later, I woke up.
And then I guess we had done 3 cases in between then.
I was in the Grand Canyon. It was really beautiful, but man, I was dehydrated.
I guess one of the cases was you finding me.
That was Case 22.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
And, all right, back to Case 25.
Yeah, I can't go back to that. I lost 2 fingers, 3 toes.
I grew back the one toe on my finger.
They grew back. I need more cigarettes. That reminds me of Case 3. The case of the missing cigarette case. We weren't making much money back then.
I was really pissed about losing $5.
Someone thought that a ghost stole a case of cigarettes. It was just her husband.
Turns out it was a haunted cigarette case and it stole itself.
The weird thing is, no one stole it. The cigarette case just disappeared into a portal.
It was still there. I was really kind of confused with Case 7.
Have you seen Poltergeist? The Poltergeist stole cigarettes. Apparently they smoke. Demons smoke cigarettes.
I didn't know they liked camels.
I mean, how are we going to get those back? That raised more questions than answers.
Speaking of smoking in movies, Nicolas Cage in Valley Girl. Remember that? They're outside of the movie theater, and he says, he's smoking a cigarette in the
with his 3D glasses.
Michael Bowen, yeah. Michael Bowen's like, "Oh, cool! Is this movie in 3D?" He's like, "No, but your face is."
Yeah. He got a lot of different jobs. All right, so let's. I guess we'll lead into this movie. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that was enough.
So this is directed by Martha Coolidge, written by Andrew Wayne and Lane Crawford, and the DP was Frederick Elms, who shot Blue Velvet.
He shot like everything that David Lynch did.
He had done Eraserheart before this movie. And so
Eraserhead.
Martha Coolidge
did a ton of Go-Go's music videos, which is probably the reason why they leaned more towards him, because he did a lot of 80s music videos. He shot one of my favorite films, Wild at Heart.
Yep. That's a good movie right there.
The Namesake, which if people haven't seen that, you could see Kumar in a decent role.
Cage and Dern.
What?
Nicolas Cage.
No,
right?
I was talking about The Namesake.
Oh, The Namesake.
That was like whenever he was at Cal Penn. He was actually he's a really good actor. And that's one of the ones he did. And then he also shot Horns.
Oh, Horns. Nice. Yeah, that's a good look. Oh, Aha.
Oh.
He always makes movies look pretty good. Alejandro Aha.
Yeah, he's got a great eye. I can't wait for him to make another movie.
Yeah. Martha Coolidge was given $300,000. The executives told her, we have a script called Valley Girl. It's based off they thought it was like a Frank Zappa kind of, Valley Girl, Valley Speak kind of talk.
Yeah, they thought they'd be able to use that song, but no, Zappa's not really big into doing that.
And they look at it, they tell Martha Coolidge, here's the script. We need 4, all right, so we're not going to go too into this, but we need 4 pairs of breasts in the movie.
I love she talks about that in the commentary.
Yeah,
we don't care where they're at.
Yep.
We just need to have them.
Yeah, 4 pairs, and you have $300,000, and you don't need an art department. And she was actually able to say, hey, I need $3,000 for this. So she has her $300,000. Actually, during the commentary, she said that the majority of the people on this film worked for free, except for the heads of department. So she got $5,000 for this as a director. And then the rest of the people just got paid a very little amount of money. And so, you had a 16-year-old boy teenager doing the